stuff I'm going to talk about here on the net. I won't say that on the air until it's really confirmed. As you can see, that vehicle, lights are out. At least 3 people in it right now is what we're hearing. Driver, 2 passengers. But we know 1 passenger for sure, so this is what we're talking about. Vehicle's been driving pretty erratically. Been actually backed up at one point, making an aggressive move towards officers, maybe trying to do one of those, a puffy chest thing. But it's something you don't want to play with LAPD. Coming up on another solid red light, a lot of traffic moving on there. That's going to be Western. Continuing on, westbound on Manchester, past Western. This is going to be your typical problem that we always seem to deal with. This is going to be in LAX's airspace. I feel the helicopter lurching and stopping. Marcos is working his magic, talking to the tower, saying the right words that'll get us to keep on going. Right now, though, this is the end of the lens here at, on Sky 9 this evening. If you're local, you know where this is. He's probably going to be getting into the Inglewood area here pretty soon. Manchester's the road that he's on. He's westbound and just passed through Gramercy right there. Right now, LAPD, they're in pursuit. Dangerous suspects for sure. Vehicle stolen is what we're hearing. I'm hoping he's going to make at least a northbound turn so that we'll be able to keep on with this chase. Right now, though, that car's still moving. 2 occupants in there, a driver and a passenger, 1 possibly with a weapon. It looks like LAPD might be wanting to do a pit maneuver. It probably is going to happen because we're going to be behind a building. Anyways, you can, yes, Kay, Rick, sir, what's up? He's turning north, South Los Angeles. Northbound Crenshaw, I believe. Oh, I hate these. I don't know, Rick. I don't know. Stand by. Florence. Woo! Eastbound Florence from Crenshaw. Another sharp turn. Stolen vehicle, possibly armed suspects. You can see that little car there running from LAPD. Seems to be a Toyota. Now these are speeds have really started to pick up. He was choosing a lot of majors earlier on. He was on a lot of. He was just on Crenshaw. He turned onto Florence, and now he got into this residential neighborhood, but really opening it up. Hasn't stopped for any stop signs. Hasn't stopped for any red lights. Extremely dangerous for anybody in the public that's nearby. Starting to see some sparks come out of the front of the car there. Don't know if he's bottoming out or possibly the tire's starting to give out, but definitely something going on there on the driver's side. Now, LAPD very concerned about this because of the number of occupants inside that vehicle. Driver and at least 1 other person, but that 1 LAPD cruiser right there really staying on this car the entire time. Lights and sirens. We heard him talking earlier on. It was a big concern for LAPD. They wanted to make sure that they had a car with a light bar. That means those reds and lights and the siren on top to warn the public about what's going on. We're getting those tight shots, trying to really get a look inside because it's kind of bounced around. First they said it was a driver and 1 passenger, then they said there was somebody in the back seat as well. So right now it's still kind of unclear. Stolen vehicle, that part is pretty clear. LAPD in pursuit. We're in the South Los Angeles area right now. If he gets onto a major, I'll give you that street here in just a second, but right now he's choosing these neighborhoods out here. It were higher speeds, but I think really, truly, that driver probably would push that car, but that little car just not really keeping up with the demand right now. But LAPD, they've got a helicopter in the air, that nice bright light, several LAPD cruisers behind it, and they're going to stay with this, trying to warn the public. Wrong side of the road. This is the type of things we've been seeing or hearing about all evening and just getting witness to here. So extremely dangerous to anybody in the area. No, definitely not any type of pursuit intervention technique going on this evening. Getting out onto a major right here. I'll get you some street names here in just a minute. I know he was on 78th for a while. Eastbound Florence, so he's back on a major street, but he's working his way eastbound, so we're heading back away from the west side, which he's been making, where he was making his way to for such a long time. There you go. It's pretty obvious right there. We're at Van Ness and Florence. This vehicle still keeping up these higher speeds on the bigger parts of the road, using the center lanes and staying wrong side of the road, center lanes, and you can see stuff. That's probably debris from that center divider throwing up there. Gramercy was what we're just passing right there, back onto the correct side. But, you know, every time there's a red light, he doesn't even slow down. Here comes another solid. Looks like he's going to have to make a turn. Hard on the brakes there, running that red light right through Western. And this is what we've been seeing. Every red light, he's just gone through almost at full speed, locking it up there, probably to avoid collision with that one vehicle, waiting for the red light, doing the right thing. LAPD, they've got a tough one on their hands this evening. Possibility of somebody being armed in this vehicle as well. Normandy. Definitely saw that. I doubt that. It looked more like showboating to me. These guys are taking advantage of this couple of minutes of fame. I'm just hoping that this is their couple of moments of fame and nobody gets hurt. You know, these high speeds, that little car with the problems that we've already been seeing. Southbound Normandy coming up. Another red light there at 83rd Street, southbound Normandy. This is going to be another one of those tough spots. My pilot tonight, Marcos, he knows the magic words, and he's talking to LAX. Hopefully we'll be able to stay with it. If not, we're going to have to slow down and watch it go. But this car, look at that, getting air as it goes through Manchester there, bouncing around. That's definitely a Toyota Echo. Right now, stolen vehicle, several people inside that car. Reports of somebody in the back seat with something in their hands earlier on. LAPD, they've always got to err on the side of caution. If that's a weapon, this could be a real problem. Coming up on another hard turn right there, those sparks are coming out of that front wheel. I would guess that those are probably something that has something to do with the braking system on that car, which just makes this even more dangerous. Well, you know what? It's probably command presence and excellent driving. The officers from LAPD, they use the shop numbers. There's numbers all over that car, but the big black ones on the roof, that's actually the designation for that car. That's going to be shop 512. That officer driving that vehicle, southbound Vermont from 92nd Street, that officer driving the shop, 512, that guy is a driver. There's no doubt about it. He's been right on this vehicle the entire time, keeping very close distance, doing command presence. That's the only thing they can do. I don't know if they've had the opportunity or they are allowed to do that pit. He has actually been close enough a couple of times to make those turns. Hard turn. There you go. Hit a curb. This might be the end. That car was probably not running that well. There you go. Doors are open, and they're just out on the ground. So Century Boulevard is where this thing's coming to an end right now. The driver rear passenger just jumping out and hitting the ground right away. LAPD, though, there was something seen in that vehicle earlier on. These guys not going to be playing around this evening. They're basically bunching up, probably yelling commands. One of the guys on the ground, not by injury, basically jumped out of that car and just got on the ground right away. The driver still in that car. Lena, I actually think that guy just got out of there as fast as he could and just drove away. Unless his car got hit, he's got no reason to stay. And with this type of situation, maybe leaving would be better. But we don't know. Maybe that car did touch it. But right now, though, one definitely in custody. The other one right over here, I believe there's another one in front of the car. So we're going to do the count with everybody else. But we got one in custody. Looks like a second one going into custody now. And then a third one right there in front of that LAPD cruiser. So 3 in custody this evening. Thank goodness nobody got hurt. But this pursuit definitely coming to an end out here in the South Los Angeles area. Thank you. Assignment desk, chase is over. I think the license plate says Hamer Toyota. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well, that was a little bit of a quick one there. We were live on KCAL 9 out here in California, if you guys are on the web and not local. But definitely a chase for the books for sure. That driver, that officer that was driving Shop 512, man, that guy, he must have aced his EVO classes, the pursuit intervention stuff. And he was on it that entire time. There's so many times he could have pitted that car, and he obviously there was reasons why he didn't, and they did not pit it, but he was right on it.